going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to hold off on the gimbal reviews just for this one. And today we're going to talk a little bit of business and specifically how to up your sales skills, especially for you artists out there. What up, AFAM? Kitty here with atolavisuals, and today I have a special guest. This is Brian.
What up, y'all?
He runs admin. What do you do? Invoices, proposals. He runs sales. He does behind the scenes for the YouTubes, making me look all types of good. He also deals with me 24/7 because he's my boyfriend. He also cooks. He got a lot of things going on. He's here because we're going to talk about 5 sales tips for artists. Why should the AFAM listen to you though?
AFAM, a little bit of background about who I am. I've sold for numerous companies here based in San Francisco. Companies like Yelp, Groupon, Cisco, Meraki, PagerDuty, Autodesk. Atolavisuals.
Most importantly.
Yeah, and most importantly, I've had fun doing it and I've learned a lot along the way. So I want to be able to share those business tips and sales tips specifically with you guys out there to help you guys with your sales.
All right, for those of you who don't even know what sales is, let's just start from the basic. Explain that.
All right, basic. Sales is the fundamental way to communicate to somebody the value that you have in exchange for a dollar amount. Pretty simple, and that's in exchange for your services or a product that you're offering.
I feel like artists who have less talent than others who have greater sales skills will always surpass and make more money than someone who's more talented than them. So I feel like the business aspect of our industry is very important, and it's something we don't really discuss as much as we should. At the end of the day, this world we live in, we need money. So that's what it comes down to, whether we want to admit it or not.
It's true, you gotta pay your bills.
You gotta pay them bills.
All right, so the first sales tip we have is hunting for the right person. So you guys all know that every company out there will have like a general email address, and that's gonna be like contact@xyz.com or info@xyz.com. And while that's a great starting point to reach out to somebody, I think it's a little bit just basic. Like, it's not really going to get you to where you want in the amount of time that you have. With all the tools available to you guys online, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to find the right contact. Specifically, a marketing contact or a PR contact, or maybe someone that handles social media content at a company. You can easily find every single one of those contacts in LinkedIn. Okay, so now that you guys have that tip, I want to know from Kitty what you specifically did to reach contacts before.
I didn't even have a list, honestly. Like, in the beginning stage, you don't really know what type of industry or market you want to do video or photography for. You kind of just land grab everything and test the waters everywhere, and then figure it out after a few years, like, oh, I really like working in like marketing with startups, or oh, I like really doing portraiture for companies or whatever, product stuff. But I've never really took the time to sit and make a list on, oh, these are my dream companies that I would really love to work for, and then go after them. I didn't really actively do that.
Tip number 2, know your worth.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put in parentheses, it's okay to say no to gigs that aren't paying you what you're worth.
It's hard.
A lot of times people are gonna throw opportunities your way and they're gonna ask you what your price is. And if you stutter or if you don't know what your price is, they're not gonna take you as seriously. So you have to know your worth, and you have to make it really, really simple for someone to understand what you're able to give them.
Like, even people, freelancers that I hire, I ask them for their day rate and they're like, oh, it's this price, but we can negotiate it. Meaning like, oh, I could go lower than my actual price that I'm giving you. Like, never say that, because to me it just looks like you're not confident in what you want to do, and you kind of look desperate.
Not only that, but if a client is like, no, I'm not feeling that price, and it's kind of like, well, maybe you just didn't either value my work, or maybe you're just not a client that I want to work with anyways. The only exception to doing something at a low paying level is if there's a much bigger upside, like a huge reward. I want to know exactly like what you used to do in terms of like understanding your worth and your value. Like, what did you used to do when people would ask you to shoot their event or shoot this or whatever the project was?
Well, honestly, I didn't even know my worth. I never took the time to evaluate my expenses, my costs, how much gear I've spent, how much education and years and experience. Like, I didn't put that together into a price point. So what I went and did is I just let the client control everything. I just asked the client, how much is your budget on this? Okay, cool. Done. I'll do it. You know, and that was it. That's how I handled things. And it's not the best business advice because you're not taking yourself seriously and getting yourself to a point where you could do more and be better.
Those older clients got you for a steal, though.
Yeah, they got steal, y'all.
All right, sales tip number 3, guys. Check in on your clients. This is huge because a lot of times we're working through projects, giving the client the video and not following up in terms of like how that video was for them. Like, did it achieve their goals? Is it helping them drive sales? You know, these are all things that we want to be able to ask our clients and to follow up with, because the opportunity to create more videos for them is totally there down the road. Also, what I wanted to say too is give yourself a reason to reach out to your existing client. Not just be like, hey, checking in, and then that's it. It's more of like what type of value you can give to that client right then and there. So for example, like, hey,
I noticed you have a new product coming out.
Notice you have a new product coming out. That's perfect. Or, hey, like, did you hear that IGTV is now vertical video? This is something we can do for you. These are all like value adds and upsell opportunities that you can just push over to a client and see if they take the cake. So, Kitty, what did you do in terms of like client management and checking in and following up on your clients in the past?
I just didn't.
And we're done with that. Tip number 4 is be persistent on the first follow-up. A lot of times we send an email, we say, hey, would you like to work with me? Here's my stuff, check me out. That's great, but then you basically never follow up after that. The odds that someone is going to actually pay attention to the first email or the first phone call, did they get your message, so slim. Like, I would say, like, you have a 10% chance each time you send that email.
That's even if you're good at the subject line.
Probably, yeah. If your subject line sucks, that's a different story. New video
for that one.
But you should always hit them with that 3 contact rule. And that's super important. So follow up with that lead 3 times and make sure you cover your bases.
So if they don't respond to that first email, the second email, what is that third email that can really like grab their attention? The very last tail of it.
I mean, I think what you're alluding to is the last contact email.
The last contact email.
Or let's just take me serious. This is the last time I'm reaching out to you. More than happy to work with you on X, Y, and Z. Best of luck, but I will be here in the future when you're ready to utilize my services. Yeah, so when you really wanted to reach somebody in the past, what did you used to do?
I would just leave one email, and if they didn't respond, I'm just like, oh well, they don't want to work with me, I guess. But there's been many, many times where that second email, they'll respond to it. Like 80% of the time, they'll respond to that second email. Totally. So don't give up so soon.
Tip number 5 is adding as much value as you can to separate yourself from competitors. An example of this is specifically understanding a company's goals. And if you know what that specific goal is, you need to highlight that in an email and say that you can produce that for them, or say that you can hit that goal for them.
Yeah, do your research. It really helps.
Absolutely do the research. A second thing to add value is maybe even do or offer like cross-channel marketing. Like, that's huge. You probably have a good sized following already. You can absolutely separate yourself by offering to market their content on your channel.
But what if they don't have a following?
If you don't have a following, it's okay, because you can still offer to do a lot of legwork to help them reach their goal. AKA be their social marketing person for them. Like, maybe a client doesn't even have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they know absolutely nothing about YouTube. Why don't you just throw in a line item that, hey, I'll produce the video and I'll help you manage your YouTube channel for you.
Do your tags, write your description, make your thumbnail. All these little things are upselling things. You don't just have to make a video. give it to them and that's it, because they're gonna want to market it. And if they don't have a marketing team, that's your job to just swoop on in there and show them how much value you could actually bring them.
I mean, if
because
you set it right.
you did all this work to make this video, you definitely want views on it as well.
Totally.
Not just them. I feel like the biggest thing that you should recognize when you're doing any of these tips is don't be afraid of rejection. I know we're human and it hurts and you're gonna get all sad and squeamish and fearful for the next time you try. Don't let that get to you, because I'm gonna guarantee you're gonna get rejected. Probably many, many times. And if you could just pick yourself up and be like, you know what, I'm gonna get the next one, no problem. Don't take the time to be all butthurt and cry in a fetal position. We ain't got time for that, okay? We need to make that money. You know what I'm saying? So.
Build thick skin, basically.
Thick skin, yes. Yeah. Don't be scared. I believe in you. AFAM. If you want us to get any more detailed on any of these tips, we'd be happy to do so. Just leave a comment down below on what you really want to learn more about.
And you can always go to goodlifeselling.com. I have a bunch of posts and sales tactics that you can pick apart. For the past 4 years, I've been writing that blog, and it's out there for you guys to read.
Yeah, I told him to make a YouTube channel, but tell him.
We're getting there, guys.
Can you do my outro? Do you know what it is?
You want me to do the outro?
Well, show them how it's done.
All right, let me think. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Find me on IG because I post there on the daily. You do you, fam. And I'll see you when I see you. Done. Show them how it's done.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Find me on IG because I post there on the daily. You do you, fam. And I'll see you when I see you. Done. You can buy more gimbals with that extra money from these sales skills we're about to teach you right now.
It's so hot.
It's not that hot here. I'm not even sweating. It's a Filipino blood, you know. This took us 5 tries to put some backdrop up here that didn't look too crazy, so.
Hey,
last
sales
one already?
Tip number 5, coming at you, is be persistent.
What?
No, we just did that.
Oh my god.
Boom.
Think of it as a bitch slap to all your competitors. Tip number 5.
Bitch slap?
Yeah.
Huh?
Tip 5, bitch slap.
Bitch slap.